Welcome to the Top 10 at 10. Today is June the 11th, 2014. I'm your host, Dan Wright, writer at FriDogRake.com, and these are the top 10 stories today. Right there. Story number 10, smaller majority of Americans view Hillary Clinton favorably. This is from Gallup. At 54%, her favorability has slipped since February. Hillary Clinton's favorability ratings have dropped slightly, although a majority of Americans continue to view her in a positive light. As Clinton publicizes her new memoir, Hard Choices, 54% of Americans view her favorably. This is down from 59% in February and significantly less than the ratings she received as Secretary of State, which were consistently above 60%. You can see the trend. Let me see the line here. So 98, she was up high. I guess 66%, 64, and now it's come down. I guess people think she's running for president. Some are not too enthusiastic about it. She has very high negatives too. So if she does run for president, which she will, it's going to be a very contentious race, as they all are, I guess. Story number 9. We had another shooting. Ding, ding, ding. This is from Fox, Oregon. 14-year-old boy shot to death in boys' locker room of Reynolds High School. A gunman carrying a rifle opened fire and killed a student at Reynolds High School on Tuesday, and Troutdale police confirmed the gunman himself is also dead. Multiple students told Fox 12 they heard at least 2 gunshots near the main gym around 8 a.m. The victim was identified by a family spokesman as Emilio Hoffman. Just killed this random kid. I mean, this is another day in America. The victim was the Troutdale police chief. Anderson said he spoke to the boy's parents. I can't tell you how devastated they are by this news. They want you to know Emilio was a great kid and loved by all. Officials said a teacher whose students and neighbors identified as PE teacher Todd Rispler was grazed by a bullet. He was treated at the scene. So, despite being grazed, he made the lockdown. I guess they killed the gunman, and the gunman just killed this, I guess, random kid he didn't know. We'll find that out later, I suppose. But this is what, the 14th shooting after Sandy Hook? I mean, this is getting ridiculous. Story number 8. The French are right, tear up public debt. Most of it is illegitimate anyway. Debt audits show that austerity is politically motivated to favor social elites. Is a new working class internationalism in the air? As history has shown, France is capable of the best and the worst, and often in the short periods of time. One day following Marine Le Pen's Front National victory in the European elections, however, France made a decisive contribution to the reinvention of a radical politics for the 21st century. On that day, the Committee for a Citizen's Audit on the Public Debt issued a 30-page report on French public debt, its origins and evolutions in the past decade. The report was written by a group of experts in public finances under the coordination of Michael Husson, one of France's finest critical economists. Its conclusion is straightforward: 60% of French public debt is illegitimate. Anyone who has read a newspaper in recent years knows how important that is to contemporary politics. As David Graeber, among others, has shown, we live in debtocracies, not democracies. Debt, rather than popular will, is the governing principle of our societies. Through the devastating austerity politics implemented in the name of debt reduction, debt was also a triggering cause of the most innovative social movement in recent years, the Occupy movement. So, interesting finding. Definitely worth reading this entire piece called The French Are Right, Tear Up Public Debt. Most of it's illegitimate anyway. From The Guardian, story number 7. MSNBC, the least trusted news source among all Americans. From Mediaite. Every news network likes to claim the mantle of the most trusted name in news, and a new Brookings and Public Religion Research Institute poll seeks to demonstrate who actually does and does not deserve that claim. Among many insights we can take away from the survey, perhaps the most interesting is that among all TV news sources, MSNBC is identified as most trusted by the fewest people. The New Republic looked at the data and gleaned that Fox News, while the most trusted, also had the most deeply polarized fan base. largely made up of the Republican Party's most conservative members, no doubt. Self-identified Democrats spread their trust among most TV news outlets, with Fox at only 6%, while Republicans are largely concentrated. It also showed disparities in how people view immigration, so no one trusts Fox News. Story number 6. I don't know what the hell the Washington Post was thinking with this story. One way to end violence against women: stop taking lovers and get married. The data showed that yes, all women would be safer hitched to their baby daddies. The dramatic social media response to the UC Santa Barbara shooting, captured by the hashtag #YesAllWomen, underlined an important and unpleasant truth. Across the United States, millions of girls and women have been abused, assaulted, or raped by men, and even more females fear that they will be subject to such attack. Okay. The social media outpouring makes it clear that some men pose a real threat to the physical and psychic welfare of women and girls, but obscured in the public conversation. So apparently, marriage reduces something. I don't know. It's just junk, but I thought I'd look at it for the hell of it. Story number 5. Edward Snowden's NSA leaks an important service, says Al Gore. Former vice president argues whistleblower exposed violations of U.S. Constitution far more serious than the crimes he committed. Edward Snowden has secured his highest endorsement yet in the U.S. when former Vice President Al Gore described the leaking of top-secret intelligence documents as, quote, an important service. Asked if he regarded Snowden as a traitor or a whistleblower, Gore veered away from traitor level. He refused to go as far as labeling him a whistleblower, but signaled he viewed him as closer to that category than a traitor, saying, quote, what he revealed in the course of violating important laws included violations of the U.S. Constitution that are way more serious than the crimes he committed. All right, Al Gore, how about that? Story number 4. Netflix refuses to comply with Verizon's cease and desist demands. This is from Ars Technica. Netflix said Monday it will stop telling customers that internet service providers are to blame for poor streaming video. Last week, Verizon sent a cease and desist letter to Netflix threatening a lawsuit unless Netflix immediately stops sending notices to customers, blaming Verizon for poor quality. Verizon also demanded a list of all customers who received such messages. Netflix General Counsel David Hyman sent the company's response today. Netflix is hedging, but only a little. The messages the company is sending to consumers are part of a test that's ending next week. But it doesn't mean Netflix's public relations campaign is over, Hyman wrote. Quote, the current transparency test to which your letter relates is scheduled to end June 16th, and we are evaluating rolling it out more broadly. Regardless of this specific test, we will continue to work on ways to communicate network conditions to our consumers. We're also happy to work with you on ways to improve network transparency. Not so subtle, fuck you. So the battle over bandwidth continues. Story number 3 from CNN Money. Half of all college grads still relying on parents' money. Students who graduate college in the throes of the recession are still struggling to make it on their own 2 years out of college. Half of graduates are relying on their parents or other family members for some sort of financial help, according to research from the University of Arizona. The study tracked more than 1,000 of its students over the course of 5 years when they entered college. Great. Thanks, Obama. Story number 2. This is from Digo. And a win for libraries. Court rules database of Google scanned books is fair use. A federal appellate court ruled on Tuesday that the Hathi Trust, a searchable collection of digital books controlled by university libraries, does not violate copyright, and that the libraries can continue to make copies of digitally impaired readers. The decision is a setback for the Authors Guild and for other groups of copyright holders who joined the lawsuit to shut down Hathi Trust operations. By contrast, it is a victory for many scholars and librarians who regard the database as an invaluable repository of knowledge. More broadly, the appeals court decision is the latest in a series of rulings about how copyright law should apply to digital versions of the tens of millions of library books scanned by Google. The unanimous ruling this week by 3 judges of the U.S. Second Circuit Court of Appeals affirms the 2012 decision that preceded last year's landmark ruling that declared that Google's book scanning project was fair use and had many benefits. And the number one story in the world, really, I think at this point, House Majority Leader Eric Cantor defeated in primary from yours truly at Fire Dog Lake. For the first time, this is the number one story, it has to be. For the first time since the position was created in 1899, a sitting majority leader of the House of Representatives has been defeated in a party primary. Eric Cantor was soundly defeated last night in Virginia's 7th Congressional District, Republican primary by David Bratt, a conservative college professor who represented the Tea Party wing of the Republican Party. Cantor outspent his opponent 27-1 and had all of the D.C. press establishment saying he was a sure thing to be reelected. His internal polling had him up 36 points. Nonetheless, he lost the race by 10 points. And under Virginia's sore loser law, Cantor is not allowed to run for that seat again this year. He's out. Beyond the party drama, the Tea Party once again asserting control is a substantive impact on policy. This primary is being seen far and away as a eulogy for immigration reform. End of Cantor's. So, yeah. No one is going to try that again. House Speaker John Boehner, though he may have had a personal distaste for Cantor, is one of the losers from last night's result. He has no choice now but to bow down before the Tea Party or face near certain destruction of his speakership. The base is in control. The defeat of Cantor also set up the struggle for 2016 with Ted Cruz's staff openly celebrating Brad's victory. If the Tea Party is running the show, then moderate Republicans have no chance of securing the presidential nomination in 2016. No Bush, no Christie. The campaign is likely to break between ideological camps within the Tea Party, such as the Libertarian wing led by Rand Paul and the Conservative wing led by Ted Cruz. In any case, the Republican Party is going even further to the right with a likely effect of dragging the Democrats with them. Oh, God. And that is the top 10 at 10. If you have a story you'd like me to feature on the top 10 at 10, please tweet me at DanSWright. And be sure to read all the stories at firedogblake.com. Thanks for watching. See you later.